In the first book of Enoch, a celestial mandate is issued: seize a fallen entity, bind him, and bury him beneath rocks. This violent image belongs to the Archangel Raphael. It stands in sharp contrast to his more familiar role as the gentle human traveler from the Book of Tobit, a provider of localized medical cures and safe passage. To reconcile these two identities, we must examine the etymological root shared across these traditions, the ancient Near Eastern root Ra-pa-a. The name Raphael translates as God has healed. This linguistic marker is preserved in modern Hebrew, where the term Rophe designates a medical physician. For ancient cosmologists, this type of healing functioned as a structural repair, intended to reorganize reality when it slipped toward chaos. Reconciling the intimate guide of the Book of Tobit with the apoplectic herald of Islamic tradition requires a shift in perspective. We can find a solution by examining Raphael's function through a geometric lens, tracking how his mandate scales across different planes of existence. To plot his interventions, we will use a three-tiered matrix: microcosm, macrocosm, and eschaton. Comparing him to Michael and Gabriel reveals his jurisdiction is defined by the specific mechanism of restoration. The archetype becomes visible only as we track this healing mechanism from the terrestrial sphere to the universal end of time. At the lowest tier, the microcosm, we find the Book of Tobit. Raphael enters the narrative in a human disguise, calling himself Azariah, meaning Yahweh has helped. This semantic shift scales his divine presence down to a localized temporal action. During a journey along the Tigris, Raphael issues an alchemical directive. He instructs his companion to extract the heart, liver, and gall of a monstrous fish, citing their powerful medicinal properties. He uses these organs for two terrestrial interventions. First, he instructs his companion to burn the heart and liver to exorcise the demon Asmodeus, repairing the broken communion of a marriage. Second, he uses the fish gall to cure the elder Tobit's physical blindness, restoring the old man's sight. These acts established Raphael's legacy as the guardian of travelers and pilgrims, specifically those embarking on hazardous journeys to new lands. This terrestrial mandate continued into the modern era with the St. Raphael Society, founded in 1871 to protect Catholic emigrants crossing the Atlantic. The journey of the emigrant mirrors Tobias's ancient trek, showing how the protective archetype survived into the mass migrations of the 20th century. At this scale, restoration is the intervention in biological and social systems to repair localized chaos. Shifting up the matrix to the macrocosmic tier, we look to the first book of Enoch. This text describes a planetary crisis, the structural defilement of the earth by a group of fallen angels known as the Watchers. In response, the archangels receive specific commands. Gabriel is ordered to destroy, representing severity, while Michael is ordered to bind the leaders, representing justice. Raphael's unique command is to heal the earth by neutralizing the archdemon Azazel. He is ordered to imprison the demon in a desert abyss called Dudael, a name meaning God's crucible. The mechanics are literal. Raphael casts the demon into total darkness and covers his face with jagged rocks until the final day of judgment. In ancient cosmology, judgment and healing are synonymous. Planetary restoration requires the surgical removal of a cosmic infection. We move now to the highest tier of the matrix, the eschaton, the universal end of time. In Islamic tradition, Raphael is known as Israfil. While he remains unnamed in the Quran itself, Hadith traditions assign him no responsibility of standing eternally with a trumpet to his lips. On the day of judgment, he blows the trumpet, sending out a blast of truth to initiate the resurrection. This blast functions as the definitive act of macro-healing, reversing entropy by gathering scattered souls back into their physical bodies. Across these traditions, resurrection is the logical conclusion of the healer archetype, the final reordering of the universe. The question remains, how can one entity govern both medical cures and the end of the world? We find the answer in Kabbalistic cosmology, specifically in the Sephirotic tree of life. Gabriel occupies the left pillar, embodying the forces of judgment, fire, and severity. Michael occupies the right pillar, embodying mercy, protection, and the element of water. Raphael stands on the central pillar, the Prince of Peace, representing the element of air. He serves as the essential bridge between these two extremes. Raphael is the structural mechanism of equilibrium. He is the divine diagnostic force that ensures balance between destruction and mercy. From the mending of a biological ailment to the rebirth of the universe, Raphael acts as the medicine of God. This multidimensional archetype continues to resonate, leading literary and theological thinkers like Flannery O'Connor to seek his guidance. Raphael represents the unyielding mandate of the divine, the law that chaos must inevitably yield to order.